Welcome to Graceful Art Designs, everybody. Today I'm going to be pouring out a mixture of different colours and then swirling them around, pale pastel colours. And I just hope it's going to form a nice, interesting background for a branch, a couple of branches of cherry blossoms. I'm going to blow out in a different way. So there I have pale pink, pale green, and green, sky blue, actually it's powder blue I think. So that inside there. And then yellow. And these colours will obviously mix with the colours I'm going to lay down for the cherries, which are quite white. Colours of it seems to be less, so this makes it interesting. And yeah, I think it's going to be a lovely soft pastel background. They'll also sort of blend together, and that will just add to the development of the colours. I just spread it out a little bit with my fingers, just to, I've got gloves on, so just spread it out on the top and the center of stuff. And I thought for either lumps of bubbles out, I think there were bubbles, but I can't really see that sort of detail. And so now I'm just going to, with the hairdryer, I see a little bubble there. I'm going to just blow it a little bit, so to make sure that it's not too thick in any one place, but just very lightly. I think it makes a very interesting mix. You see it is thicker in the center. And of course blowing does alter the colour composition. That's also fine. Very pretty colours. Well, you can make them even lighter than I made them, because they may darken up a bit. And most of the painting will be covered with the blossoms, but just in case. So here I've just made some lines with my finger, just to give myself an idea where to put the colours, because I'm going to be putting little circles of colour. I'm not going to be doing a stripe, and just to give myself an idea of where to lay the colours down. So that's how I laid down the colours. I put some of the rose gold in the centre, and then some rose on either side, and then little circles of white. And over all of that I drizzled some pearlescent white. And I've done that in a number of places. So cherry blossoms normally have 5 petals. Obviously some blossoms will have fallen off, and some may have 3, some may have 4, but we'll see how they blow out. Branch and a few little twigs. And not predict how the colours will blow out. I then need to take my straw to get the shapes that I want. Okay. So that's how they blew out, and I think it's quite interesting. And I love the colourful background. So now I'm going to just improve them with the straw. I really wanted the rose gold in the center to make the center of the blossom. Okay, now that's a pretty one. And I won't take you through every blossom. That's how they blew out, and I think they're quite interesting. I think they're quite sweet, the colours, how they've turned out against the background. But we'll see how they dry. In the meantime, I've blown them out with a straw, but the paint is still moving, so the shapes are not holding. But I'm going to shape them with my finger, for what it's worth, and see what comes of that. And I should be wiping my finger between each one, but really there's so many colours here now, so it doesn't matter that much. So I'll continue, and then I'll leave it for a few minutes, wipe off the edges, and come back and blow them out again with a straw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's a big one. Okay, well, I'll just have to do a big one like that. Dude, I can't have 6 blossoms. Now here, this is, I think it's going to split into 2. 2 blossoms next to each other. That's how I swipe the blossoms, and what I do, I went around the outside of the colour so that I brought some of the background colour into some of the blossoms, which is fine because it's still there's still a lot of paint and it is going to move, and I'm going to have to blow again with a straw, so when I blow, for example here, it might push into that green and to the edge of the blossom. Either way, I don't mind. That's all interesting. I think it just looks like a lovely ice cream coloured cherry blossom picture, and it's going to look lovely once I put the branch going through. A few little twigs and some little green buds. Now I have to wait for it to dry. Well, first I need to scrape the sides, and then I usually move it to the floor because it's straighter on the floor, and I'll wipe the drips down there. The floor is covered with plastic, and then the table can dry off. Went back and put a little perlescent in the center of each blossom, and I'm just going to blow it out just to give maybe some cells and lacing there. That's how they look close up, and I think they look lovely. I think they look very sweet. I think maybe if I do this again on any blossom. I absolutely love the way it's dried. The rose gold is so pearlescent and shiny and gives it such a glow. Depends on the light you're looking at it, but even in the light today, which is quite dull, you can see the glow. I think it is. But you can see there, for example, there and there, there, it's all over. Anyway, but I love the colours. I especially love the way the rose mixed with the pink that was in the background. That's very pretty. Also with the yellows and the blues. Didn't mix much with the green. Oh, there's a bit of green there. And there, but overall I like this effect the most. But it's a pretty painting, pretty unusual, and I'm going to now add in a lovely thick branch starting in the corner here, going through and joining all the blossoms together. So for this branch I'm using dry acrylic paint straight from the tube. I've just sprayed some water on it and I'm using a wet brush. Mix the black and white together to make a grey, and then I've got two different silvers. I'm going to pick up a little bit of each on the brush as well and see what that makes. And the branch will be coming through here. See if this is going to show nicely. I think I had picked it up a different way before. So, okay, it won't show. It will come through here. Let's turn it around. So, quite a thick branch coming through there. And then coming down here. And just a little twig up to there. And then, so this will be like a half a blossom. See how that looks. And then, I'm going to have to pick it up again. So I've joined this one here. And that one there, that one there. So then again, this is a half a blossom, and then that one comes through there, and this one can come down. This is a nice full blossom down here, so I'll leave it as it is. So like that. They kind of have like spiky looking branches in between. Stems for the buds that are growing. So I should add some thin little stems coming off as well. And onto those I'll add some green stalks. And this will just be blossoms blowing in the background. They don't have to be perfect shapes. Mixture of a little bit of thin green light and some white, and just making the buds on the sides of the twigs. Just a nice look, and it's different green to the green in the background, so it will show up. And I'm probably putting more. That's unnecessary, but I think it will just add to the painting. And this is the way the painting will hang, I think, the best way. Those luminous colours at the top and this collection down here at the bottom. I'm still going to do another layer of silver over these branches and twigs because the grey together with the silver just to measure the brush. And so this painting, although I have transformed it a little, it's essentially the same painting that I've put out. Not that many changes or additions. You can do whatever you see in your painting. To be done. Please like and comment, it really does help to get my video out to more people, helps the algorithm. So, and also subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching and bye for now.